All right, guys, we are about what 2, 3 weeks off from the E3, and Sony talked about the future of the PS4 and what to expect from the PS4. And from what I hear from other YouTubers, is that they just acknowledged the PS Vita. It's like if they just said, "Yeah, we have the PS Vita, and expect great things from the Vita," and that's it. President Andrew House, the president of Sony Computer Entertainment, admitted that the future of the PS Vita is still up in the air following the launch of the PlayStation 4. IGN spoke to Andrew House, and this is what he had to say. "I certainly think you'll see the Vita as a AAA machine in Japan where it has different function with the console dynamic of the marketplace. That for me is a given. It's hard to say in terms of other markets." And it goes on saying, "I think remote play is still in the nascent stages." I don't know if I said that right. "I think we need to have a better understanding. We know a lot of players are embracing it and using it and seem to like the experience a lot. But necessarily changes the dynamic. If you can still play PlayStation 4 content at will on the Vita, that does not obviate the necessity of having a AAA content or not. I think that question will stay unanswered for a bit." This is what I see it as. He's trying to. This is from my point of view. This is what I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. It's great that people in Japan are using the Vita to its full effect. It's awesome. That's great. In America, in the US, is where you need to sell your unit. If you want it to be successful, if you wanted to say, "Holy shit, the 3DS is nothing compared to the Vita," in the US is where you have to make your mark first. I can see where people are coming from that they don't want the Vita. I've had my Vita for a year, and the reason I wanted it was because you had Madden, you had MLB, you had Mortal Kombat, you had all these great games, you had Call of Duty. That is the one reason why I bought the PlayStation Vita, was because of Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. What happened? I don't see any more Call of Duty games. I don't see any more Madden games. I mean, Rockstar created a bunch of PSP games. You had Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. You had Grand Theft Auto China Wars or something. And now you have a limited market of games on the PS Vita. The most recent game that came out that I bought for the Vita was Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. I'm already done with that game, and I'm looking to sell it. There's nothing more that Sony is offering PlayStation Vita fans. Or if you have a Vita, I mean, there's a bunch of people already trying to sell them. Because why? Because there's nothing more in the market that they have to offer. I'm even looking into it about getting rid of my Vita because I want a 3DS. There's more games in the 3DS than there is in the PS Vita. Well, if you want more games, go to the PlayStation Store and you got the PSP games. That's great. There's some games that I'm thinking about buying, but I don't know yet because I'm not sure if I want to get rid of the Vita or not. But I want games for the Vita. What happened with Activision? There's no more Call of Duty games. What happened with EA? There's no more Madden games. Where are all these developers that made a bunch of awesome games for the PSP and they all of a sudden just called it quits with the Vita? And here's my reason why they called it quits is because, well, let's just go with Sony. The Vita has sold 900,000 units. Okay, let's make it realistic. 600,000 units. And the 3DS has sold 5 million units. The 2DS has sold 2 million units. I'm going to go work with Nintendo, who has sold more units than what Sony has. Only 600,000 units. You see where I'm coming from? Sony pushed the PlayStation 4. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Sony shoved the PlayStation 4 down our throats, saying, we don't have that DRM. You don't have to have your PlayStation connected 24/7. You don't have to buy a bundle with the camera. You can buy the camera separately. You don't have to this. You don't have to that. They told us so many great things, which is why people bought the PS4. Sony, you shoved it down our throats. That is the reason why you're kicking the Xbox One's ass. With the PS Vita, it's like if you guys said, we have the Vita and this is a handheld system, this is what you can do. There are so many games coming. The day it released, you quit. You stopped. Like if you just said, well, you know what, we're Sony and we know we're going to sell that many units. You haven't. You haven't done anything. Developers don't want to even bother making games for these for the Vita. The future remains unclear for the PS Vita is what President Andrew House of Sony Computer Entertainment said. If you really want to sell more units, if you really want to make the Vita successful, I mean, don't get me wrong, they announced the bundle, the PlayStation 4 PS Vita bundle. I don't know if it's sold. I thought it was something great. You know, the PS Vita is going to get so many units sold that maybe these developers are going to start seeing, hey, let's start making more games for the Vita because, you know, after this bundle, more units were being sold. I don't know if it's sold. There's talks that they're making an Infamous game for the PS Vita, but we don't know if that's going to come out. We can't be for certain if it's going to come out. I mean, if you really want to save your PS Vita, find a way to make the Vita work with Project Morpheus. Your PS4 controller, your DualShock 4 is working around you made the controller the way you made it because when Project Morpheus comes out, you'll be able to use your controller. The Move, I'm pretty sure you're gonna start releasing the new Move. Your camera, you need it if you want to use Project Morpheus. If you want to save the PlayStation Vita, make it work with Project Morpheus. What? Maybe some of you are saying, how can it do that? What can it do? I don't know. But if they don't do anything with the Vita, by this time next year, by this time in 2 years, they're gonna cancel it. They're gonna be like, well, we're done. We didn't have anything. We didn't have an answer. So we're calling it quits with the Vita. That's about it. They dropped. It went from, I bought it when it was $249. They dropped it about 2 or 3 months later to $199. I got fucked on that deal. They thought that because they dropped the price on the Vita that it was gonna sell more units, and it still hasn't. It still hasn't. Sony, if you really want to sell this unit, if you really want people to buy it, find a way to make it work with Project Morpheus. Just because it's remote play doesn't mean a damn thing. I used it a few times on remote play. It's great. It's awesome. But after a while, I'm just going to get tired of it. People are going to get tired of it and just stick to the DS4 DualShock the controllers. I don't know, guys. That's just my thoughts. So, remember to like my video, comment on my video, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. And like always, take care.
Won't you follow me into the jungle?